Alright, so it is time for the annual end of the season looking at the new season video. Now, if you're new to these, I don't go over every single show that's coming out next season. I find that boring, I find that pointless. Just going over my initial what I think I'm gonna watch or at least be interested in. And it's kind of a fun little video where everyone shares what they're excited about, and then everyone kind of says, ooh, I didn't hear of that, and oh, I didn't hear of that, and we all kind of figure out what we plan to watch. And of course, once the shows come out, that's when we officially know for sure. So let's kick into some of the shows I'm interested in as it stands for winter 2023. So first up, we got the Misfit of Demon King Academy Season 2. I was a very big fan of Season 1. I was happy to see that it was coming back for a Season 2. Yes, we do get a voice actor change for the main character, but I mean, based on what I've seen and heard about this, it's pretty much guaranteed that if you like Season 1, you're probably gonna like Season 2. I haven't heard specific arcs or anything being hyped up, but as someone who really enjoyed what they delivered, I mean, this is actually one of my more anticipated ones for sure. BOFURI, I don't want to get hurt, so I'll max out my defense Season 2. Now, Episode 1 I think dropped early somehow, I'm not sure exactly how that occurred, but more than likely, I've probably already done a review first impressions. If not, it probably just means that I'm waiting for it to be closer to the actual air date. BOFURI, another great one. That entire world, the way they designed that video game and a girl just becoming the most OP because she maxed out her defense. One of my more anticipated Season 2s before it even got confirmed to get a Season 2, and I know like I constantly get comments on my video that I covered for Season 1 being like, where's that Season 2? And now I can actually tell people, hey, it's coming out in January, where before I just had to ignore them because the truth hurt too much to say it hadn't been confirmed. We got that Vinland Saga Season 2 greatness. We're getting Farmland Saga. I love that the main staff responsible for Vinland Saga have been carried over to Mappa, so even with the studio change, it's essentially the exact same production team. Vinland Saga, I mean, I gushed about it for 2 seasons straight. I absolutely love this show, and probably is going to be my anime of the season, or one of my anime of the seasons, because if it's anything like Fall, I got a few of them that can be tied for that title. Danmachi is returning. The previous core that aired in the prior season in summer there was absolutely nutty. There was some insane dungeon crawling adventure, and there was some stakes that just, it made it feel completely hopeless and helpless, and by the time they overcame that, it got about 100 times worse. If you're holding off on getting on that Danmachi train, there's never been a better season than to watch weekly than this current Danmachi core, because it is going to be brutal, bloody, and absolutely insane. We got Tokyo Revengers Season 2, or known as the Christmas Showdown arc. This one I've been waiting for. I mean, if anyone remembers, Season 1 ended on a very, very big cliffhanger that I kept seeing rage comment after rage comment after, you know, you get the point. It was just like the way they ended that was such a blue balls, but as someone who's a sucker for cliffhangers, I really enjoyed it. Now, I do know the overall opinion of the manga does get a little wonky by the end of it, the manga's run. But here's the thing, I'm always someone who makes my own opinions first and foremost. I'll see where it goes. There's been plenty of times manga readers didn't like something that I did. I didn't hear anything bad about this arc in particular, so it should be a good time for all, and I'm excited. We got NieR Automata. Now, as someone who's never actually played the full game, I played a bit of it, but then just got distracted, and at this point I'd need to restart it to remember anything. It was a really cool environment, and if there is an anime that would make sense for adapting a game, I think it would be this one. Everything I've seen for the little character trailers just seems like it's a very high produced A1 Pictures series, and in terms of story, I don't know, there's like a bajillion endings to that game if you wanted to see them all, and apparently everyone says you should see them all because it all adds to the whole thing. So I don't know what they're going to do with the story here, if there'll be a bit of an original spin to it, if it'll be a more of an adaptation, I don't know. I'm hoping for the best, because when it comes to like mobile games turned anime, it's very hit or miss, but when it comes to an actual game, which NieR is based off of, I think there's more room for success, so I think this one's going to do really well, or at least I'm hoping. Adventurers who don't believe in humanity will save the world. Now, this one I don't know a hell of a lot about, but the more I look into it from trailer to synopsis, it does seem like it's pretty much just like everyone's kind of down in their luck, they're pretty much giving up on everything, and then this ragtag disposed of adventurers end up making a party together and just become really good friends or something to that nature. I'm not sure exactly, but it's looking rather interesting. When you think about shows like these, typically it's more on the comedy direction, but it seems like this one's focusing on, they do carry their scars, but the new team that they're a part of, this group of 4 or whatever, are really close and really have each other's backs. And I think this will be a very good show to watch and a little bit of a different spin on what we're used to in this type of show in the medium. So we got Spy Classroom. Immediately when I saw that name, I was like, oh, this is definitely going to be like some popular source material. It's like simple enough, but it just has that nice spin to it. And based on what I'm seeing, there's some buzz for this one. Now, I don't know if this is necessarily what you call a popular one or more of a dark horse popping up, but based on what I can see production-wise, it's not something that initially makes me say, ooh, that's anime of the season or that's the best show of the season, but there is enough mystery and intrigue there that does have my interest, and I'm hoping it's going to be a banger of a show. I mean, anytime you have people recruit for spy military operations, you got some cute anime girls, it's gonna be a fun time at the very least, and hopefully the production will remain consistent, so it's not one of those shows that starts off great and then ends up being rather lackluster. I think this one's gonna be at the very least good, and based on the hype, if you can believe hype, which sure, some people are cautious of, it does seem like this one will be worth at the very least paying attention to, and potentially watching for yourself. We got Handyman Saitou in Another World. I think it was supposed to originally come out this season or something in the fall of this year, but it got delayed for one reason or another. But the more you look into Handyman Saitou in Another World, the more it just seems like these are the types of shows that I really look forward to, because there's usually one, maybe not every season, but every other season. It's a goofy premise in Another World, but it's enough of a spin to make isekai just feel different than what we've seen before. Because just like the whole concept of someone being super average in their normal life and then coming to a new world, not being magical, but more so being a handyman, who wants to take someone who is a good chess opener or can repair things on the fly. He's a handyman in Another World, and he's basically like just the ultimate tool to be used in a way, but like it just seems like it could be wholesome or hilarious or just what a twist of the genre, and I'm really excited for it. I think most people should keep their eye on Handyman because I've heard some good things from people that have experienced the source material, and this one it's one of my more anticipated, I gotta be honest. Campfire cooking in Another World with my absurd skill. I don't know too much about this one, but I did have a couple of people say that they were a big fan of the source material, and it's one of those shows that it's not something that I could see myself reviewing or anything, but it is something that I'm considering probably doing some exclusive live reactions over on Patreon, because it's one of those shows that you can just tell is a good, simple, fun watch that you don't have to probably extend your brain and makes these complex theories, but just have a grand old time with some great character designs, some fun visuals. It does look like a very pretty art style, and I'm excited for this one. I mean, I didn't initially have my eyes on it, but thanks to a couple of people commenting, I was like, you know what? This one actually does seem pretty interesting, so I'm hoping for the best. Saving 80,000 gold in Another World for my retirement. I skimmed a couple of promotional videos, but I didn't even read the synopsis. I'm going into this one blind. I think it's just a funny ass title that is, it could be something, could be nothing, but these are sometimes you just gotta roll the dice and see what happens. But if titles can sell you on an anime, this one sold me at the very least to attempt episode 1, at least on my own time. Giant Beasts of Ars. Now this one is going to get slept on maybe for a couple of weeks, maybe for the whole season, but based on the trailer and the synopsis, this show looks incredible. I mean, the first few seconds of this, it's kind of Attack on Titan vibes. Giant beast coming over some sort of wall, and honestly, it just looks like it has a bit of that anime goofy charm, but an intensity that, without a doubt, seems to be the actual dark horse of the season. Not seeing a lot of people talk about it based on the promotional material, high quality enough that it looks consistent and honestly rather unique. And in doing so, if this one actually sticks to landing for episode 1, I could see a snowball effect where the hype and the momentum gets bigger and bigger and bigger to the point where, you know, similar to an Akiba Maid Warp, we end the show saying, why weren't more people talking about it? And then eventually more people start talking about it, and then they slap themselves in the face saying, why wasn't I watching it when it aired? I'm hoping for the best. These shows can sometimes disappoint, but I think it's better to go in with an open mind rather than a cautious mind, because, I mean, worst case scenario, you don't like it, you move on with your life. Best case scenario, you say, damn it, I knew there was something special about this one, and you can have a bit of an eco. Mostly jokes there, but you get my point. And there's a lot of other shows coming out, but truthfully, I mean, with the number of carryovers coming from this latest season into winter with some great new ones and returning sequels and everything like that, is going to be just as good probably as this prior season was, and it was an absolute blast to cover and follow. So let me know what you're thinking of this upcoming season, stuff you're excited for, what you're hoping to see, and yeah, let me know down below. Leave a like if you enjoyed, subscribe if you're new around here. You can consider supporting the Patreon. You can get exclusive content like live reactions reactions, which almost every show that I'm covering next season will have a live reaction counterpart. You can get video shoutouts, and hey, the video you're currently watching right here, you get to watch them early on Patreon. So, bunch of fun stuff. Consider it if you so wish. So until next time, everyone, please take care and have a good one.